So I had the absolute blissful pleasure of evaluating Charlotte Greene this morning, and honestly I had to think about it. I think half my evaluations have been with one person, Charlotte. So I think this is my third or fourth time evaluating you. Actually, I have great news this time. I have so little to write negatively about you. I apologize, my last time I think I was a little too harsh. Just to find negatives, I went a little bit on a pendulum swing and found way too many that weren't actually negatives, but nitpicky on my part. So about this speech, I absolutely loved it. One of the reasons I loved it is because after reading the evaluation form, it fit in really perfectly. One of the negatives I was going to mention, and I'm just correcting myself here, was in the beginning I noted the purpose of the speech. So I noted two purposes when in actuality you only need to do one of those. It says either or. So about halfway through my evaluation I had to switch that up a little bit because you did hit on one of these. You hit on the purpose of the project. Is to learn about different communication styles and identify your primary style. So I guess one of the negatives, if I had to bring it up, would be to try, one of the work on or challenge yourselves would be to try to incorporate both. The other one was to share the impact your style had on others. I'm not sure I got that as much, but again, the objectives were not to do both, was one of the others. So starting off, I liked your opening with your joke. I often like your openings, to be honest, because they include a joke, and so usually your closings do too, so that's pretty fun. But it was a nice introduction to what Pathways is. I am in Pathways right now, and I don't know much about it. To be honest, I think everyone feels that way a little bit. But with a lot of new things, and it's kind of ironic with Pathways, we need someone to trail that path. And I'm actually kind of glad. As little as you admit to knowing about technology, it's not, I would say this is not so much as about technology, but about changing evolution, things like that. It's a little bit difficult with technology, but I think we're all going to get used to it. What's more important is that you are helping a lot of people here who might not be familiar with Pathways, which I think that's all of us, or might not be understanding what Pathways is. This was a really good speech in what the types of speeches Pathways offers us. So analytical, precise, purposeful. One of the things I had a problem with was nailing down a speech that only fit one category, because I think a lot of them fit multiple categories, but I enjoyed your speech on birds. I think that was really analytical. That was a good one. Direct, which is confident, strong-willed, results-oriented. This speech, I believe, was direct, as mentioned. You know, supportive, I think a lot of your speeches incorporate supportiveness in them, but don't necessarily theme around supportiveness, if that makes sense. And finally, initiating speaker, I think a lot of your speeches are, but you mentioned the one that I liked the best, my favorite speech of yours, and that was the two aliens that talked about it. So honestly, at the end, you said, tailor it to yourself, which I think was a great feedback for all of us. I really do need to tailor to myself a lot of my speeches. And honestly, I don't know about anyone else here, but it's hard for me to categorize myself in one of these. It really is. So I like the idea that she didn't necessarily say you had to, but just make sure that you have the idea of what these four are. So Charlotte, thank you for your speech. It was really good.
Thank you.